So before coaching, actually I spent quite an extended period of time not working at all for about 7 years. Actually, I was very ill and I had a lot of mental health problems that kind of were attributed to my service in the military, but also my childhood before that. So I kind of grew up with what looked on the outside as quite a loving, caring family. The reality was somewhat different, and unfortunately my dad worked a lot of hours and didn't really get to see him, and my mum was a very complicated individual, and there were moments where she could show love and affection, you know, as you would expect from your mum, but then there were a lot of times when actually she could be quite abusive, you know, really telling me that I wouldn't amount to very much, physical abuse as well. I had 2 disabled brothers, and I always felt like I was the whipping boy, you know. I was the person that she could take her frustration out on, because she couldn't do that with my brothers, as they were both disabled and had their problems growing up. So it was very much, you know, I was the normal child. And yeah, it just became an opportunity for her to take her anger and frustration, I think, out on myself. So I decided to start a career in coaching just because I found myself helping people. I've always been a bit of a thinker, and during my own problems and troubles throughout my life, I've always tried to find ways of overcoming them. I've had to think outside the box a little bit, because a lot of the kind of regular avenues for help that you would kind of go down haven't always worked for me. That's not a reflection on them, as much as just everyone's unique, and you know, it isn't always that one size glove fits all hands. So it's very much been, I call myself an expert by experience. So I've taken that and I've had chats with people and coached them through how they can help themselves more, because inevitably if you just rely on someone else to do everything for you, you're going to kind of fall down somewhere along the way. So where I found that I was helping a lot of people, predominantly veterans like myself, it just became more and more obvious that I needed to do some sort of formal training and gain some experience and understand how I could really help people using some sort of methodology. The courses and the kind of knowledge that I've acquired over the last couple of years have been predominantly based around NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and hypnosis. I've learned some other tools and techniques along the way as well, but I just found that what I was dealing with, it kind of resonated a lot with NLP. You know, my inner thoughts and my inner talk and the language that I was using for myself on a daily basis was extremely negative, and kind of, you know, learning some positive language, learning how to change my state, how to reframe, you know, parts of my life that have been difficult, really enabled me to see things in a different light. My experience and learning journey has been pretty amazing. I started off with the Practitioner's course with NLP, and I went out to Barcelona, an amazing venue, and it gave me the opportunity to really concentrate and focus on what I was doing. You know, for me, going abroad to do it was really helpful, because it meant that while I was away, you know, I was having a break from the reality of what was going on at home for me. So, you know, there was nothing else to do but to concentrate on the course. I found, you know, the whole experience, you know, just absolutely amazing. I met some wonderful people. I learned a huge amount. I learned about language, you know, and its real importance. I learned about hypnosis, about using scripts, and, you know, really how powerful it could be. I then moved on and went on to the Master Practitioner course, where again, went over, you know, more to do with neuro-linguistic programming, but also a bit of a deeper dive into hypnosis, again building on some of the scripts that we kind of worked with on the practitioner course, but also looking more at some of the extras that you could add in to help people, you know, the change work that would really make a difference for people as you were working with them. One of the other things that I really liked, and I'd had a personal experience of this myself, was the timeline therapy. You know, it was absolutely brilliant, and it was a real way of being able to take someone content free and deal with some of the things that they've kind of had to deal with in their own life. And, you know, for me, my personal experience of that and working with Phil was in fact that, you know, I'd had a release myself, and we worked around anger, and for me I had a big release, and I found, you know, I still find myself now that I'm, you know, very much more laid back person. I don't get angry about things. You know, I'm a lot more relaxed in general. So once I'd completed the Master Practitioner course, you know, we went on to the Advanced Hypnosis course, and again the venue was phenomenal, back out to Spain. But the course itself was, you know, it was just something else. It's basically all of Phil's experience over the years of hypnosis. And we did everything completely script free. We looked at lots of different techniques of deepening and different techniques in which to help someone get into a hypnotic state. We looked at the different types of change work. And the great thing about the course was nearly all of it was practical, in that there would be an explanation, a demonstration, and then we would go away in groups of 2 or 3 and we work amongst ourselves to get each other into that state that we just worked on. And you know, some of the results were absolutely fantastic. You know, I had a situation, in fact, where I ended up hypnotizing 2 people at the same time and did some change work with both of them, one of which was based around psoriasis, and the outcome over the next 2 days was phenomenal. You know, the psoriasis pretty much, you know, going away completely, very much because it was stress related. And, you know, something that you'll learn is that if the mind can create the stress to cause such a reaction with psoriasis, then the mind can also undo that and create relaxation in order to help it to dissipate. So my future in coaching now is that I've started my own company, Metaprimal, and, you know, a lot of the coaching techniques and tools that I'll be using and my experience through my journey has been that I've reverted a lot to kind of more primal ways of living. I'm a minimalist, and I eat in a certain way, like cross between a paleo and a carnivore diet. I do a lot of kind of primal movements and look at calisthenics as a way to get myself to be stronger, fitter and healthier person. But also, you know, kind of looking at the different forms of NLP and how I can help people using that. You know, everything that I've learned through my journey. I also work at a boot camp. So I work at Team Boot Camp, and I work on a program called Conquer Food. I actually went through it myself and recently lost 5 stone, and it was something that kind of kick-started a lot of things for me. But basically I work there now, and I'm helping people to go through the journey that I went through myself, both as a trainer and a coach. So, you know, one-to-one sessions, group sessions, talking about mindset, guided meditations, you know, a whole host of, you know, range of tools and techniques which are ongoing with those individuals. And really being able to watch them grow, it's one of the most fascinating things, is that, you know, I've seen myself change, but to watch it in other people, you know, there's a real sense of achievement on my part. And yeah, I feel that I have purpose again. I feel that I'm doing something really worthwhile in the world.